Good morning, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening from whichever part of the world you're joining. Uh, in this next podcast from the Vitality Source, we are going to talk about something very important that's part of our lives every single day when you go out shopping. It impacts your family, it impacts you. And that's why it's very important for us to understand what that topic is. And then, as you understand it, make the right decisions as you pick up food. Now, what we're going to talk about today is food labels and how to read them, how to understand them. Now, and then as you go shopping, that's going to be your practical. You take the knowledge from us, go ahead, read those food labels, which are usually in the smaller letters on the back of the jar that you're buying. It's usually the most important part of the product that you're buying. You want to know how much sugar you are going to take. You want to know how much sodium you're going to take. If that's good for your body, if that's good for your kid's body. So again, for those things, I've invited Dr. Pooja Ambati. She is a she is a nutritionist working with the Vitality Source, and we would love to have her thoughts around it. Welcome, Dr. Pooja. How are you?
Hello, sir. Good morning. I'm good, sir. How are you?
Good, good. And thank you very much for joining the podcast. Now, to
Yes,
begin
thank you.
with,
Yes.
now we're talking about food labels, Dr. Pooja. To begin with, can you explain what exactly is a food label?
Yes. So whenever a person goes to a supermarket or some like online buying anything, so this food label is something which is printed on the packaged foods actually, and most of the times it is printed on the back side of the food product. So whatever we have on the front of the label of the front of the packet is different, and whatever we have on the back of the packet,
Mhm.
which actually gives us the essential details such as the ingredients that are used, the nutritive values. Then also it also gives what are the manufacturing dates or expiry dates, even the storage instructions, like at what conditions the product have to be stored, even the allergen warnings, like some people might be like allergenic to some gluten or some nuts or peanuts, etc. So all these information is what is present on the food label. And we also have the certifications like FSA, like license number, or FAO license number, etc. So in simple words, like a food label is the identity card of the product that we are buying, and it tells us like what we are about to consume and help us in making good decisions about our health.
So the good decisions of making our health are in the back of the product and in small letters,
Yes.
right? But it's very important to read through it and understand and choose.
Yes, sir.
Got it, got it. But many people ignore those food labels. I mean, I won't blame them because usually the colorful part is in the front, the interesting part is in the front, and the descriptive part, the smaller part, is in the back. You are telling me that the smaller part, the one that is part of the food label, is more important. But many people, I mean, ignore those food labels. Can you tell
Yes.
us why is it important for them and they should not ignore it?
Yes, sir. So, like as you said, it's fact. Like whether it is available, like we have it on the pack, but many people actually ignore reading that. So, it is very important to read the food labels because it will be helping us to understand whether it contains some hidden sugars or excess salts or unhealthy fats and even the preservatives. So, there are n number of preservatives that are added into most of the packed foods. So it is also very much important to have awareness regarding what is in the food label, especially if the person is having some lifestyle diseases like some diabetes, obesity, high blood sugars, or high blood pressure, and even any kind of lifestyle diseases. So, whenever the person is actually reading the food labels, it can help them in controlling the intake of the calories. So, there will be getting like per 100 grams what is the calorie, and per serving how much you have to take actually. And it also help the individual to reduce their sugar and even also the salt consumption. Nothing but we'll be having how much sodium is in the pack. And it also help us to choosing the healthier alternatives and also to manage the existing medical conditions. So it hardly takes around 30 seconds to 1 minute to read a food label,
And I
which
know
can actually protect our health. Yeah.
you're right. And I
So
know
like as you said, most of the people, they look at the front of the pack. So they think like whatever is on the front pack is the reality. For example, they go for real juices. So there on the front of the pack, you can see colorful fruits. Okay, so what is, if you turn the packet, so you can only find hardly some 8% or 10% of the fruit extract. The remaining is water and the sugars. So even if you go for the multigrain biscuits, so most of the biscuits, they won't make the term as maida. They'll mention as refined maida. Yes, sir. As you rightly said, most of the people will be looking at the front pack and they'll be buying the products. So that is the first mistake many of the people make. So like they'll be trusting the front of the pack. For example, if you can see the ketchup, so we can see here, right? They'll be representing the nice tomatoes and all. But the actual thing is like only 10% or 8% of it contains the tomatoes. So at the back of the pack, actually we can see. So whenever you buy a product, so you don't fall for the front of the pack, which is very attractive and all. So we should be trusting the back of the pack. So there we'll be getting the clear scenario of what is going into the pack. So like for example, one more example we can see is like biscuits. So most of the people think they're buying some nuts loaded with biscuits. So in that also, if, for example, if you can see some cashew biscuits, only 2% you'll be having the cashews. So the rest of thing will be the refined wheat flour, nothing but maida, the sugars, even most of the time it is not even the butter, the palm oil they'll be using.
wow,
So
yeah,
again,
I didn't know
yeah,
this. Very
yeah,
interesting.
yes. So we should be trusting the back of the pack.
Okay, okay.
So
And
all these, like we can see most of the terms like multigrain, high fiber, low fat. But the main truth is like these are all the marketing terms. So they are like not always the health indicators.
got it. Got it. Now, if I was to say, even I don't know a lot that you're talking about, and I usually get attracted by the front. Now we'll have to turn it around, look at the back of the details, and read the label, which is exactly what you're suggesting. But what are the most important things that consumers should check before purchasing a packaged product? What are the top 3 or 4 things that you would recommend consumers look at and
Yes.
understand the percentage before they actually buy the product?
Yes. So the first thing whenever you're picking a product, you just look at the best before date or the expiry date. So we should never consume any product beyond the expiry date. So first thing you have to look is the expiry date. So after that, you have to go for the ingredient list. So first thing, if it is qualifying for the manufacturing date and the expiring date, then you go for the ingredient list.
Got it. Got it. Got it.
So yes. So whenever you look at the ingredients, so whatever the ingredients that are in that packet will be listed in the descending order by the weight. Like whatever the ingredient that is used in more amount will be at the first. Okay. For example, if you look at some biscuits, so the first thing you look is what we have is the maida, or
Maida.
they'll be mentioning it as refined wheat flour.
Mm-hmm.
So then the sugar, then the fat. So the nuts will come at some 8th or 9th place. So if you find sugar among the first 2 to 3 ingredients, we can say that the product is high in sugar.
That's a smart
And
idea.
the next thing is we have to look at the nutrition facts panel. So there we'll be getting the exact amount of calories, the total fat, total sugars, the sodium content, etc. So whenever if a person is if you say the person is having some blood pressure, when he can look at the sodium, what is the content, so which is the risk factor for the high blood pressure. And whenever the person is diabetic, he can actually look at the sugars, which is the risk for diabetes. If it is high in saturated fat, so it is actually risk for the heart or any other cardiovascular diseases.
Got it. Got it.
And the next thing is the serving size. So whatever is in the packet, it is not for one serving. So they will be writing there. So is it per one serve or two serves, or if it is some 500 grams of pack. So they will be mentioning whether it is 30 grams is per serving or not. So the serving size is also very important. So
Very
sometimes the packet looks very small, but the nutrition which is calculated, which is on the label, is only for the half of the packet. So you
Makes
must see like what is the weight, or for how much weight actually the nutrient information is given. So
Got it.
thereby we can actually cut down the excess intake, or we
Got
can maintain the portion size.
Got it.
Yeah.
So the
And
most
the next important, yes.
no, you continue, please continue.
Yeah. The next important thing is the food allergens. So they'll be actually mentioning like whether it is having some gluten or peanuts, gingerly seeds, mustard seeds, or even soya. Like most of the people will be allergic to soy and its products, even nuts such as tree nuts. So allergenic information is also printed. So if you are allergic to some product, you can just look at it. And then you have to look at the license number. So for example, in the Indian context, you can look for the FSSAI license number. So this confirms the product meets its food safety standards. You can look for
Okay.
the logo and the number, license number.
Okay, that makes sense. So the most important thing is best before date. Is it expired or is it not
Yeah.
expired?
Yes.
If it's not expired,
Yeah.
then you go ahead and take a look at all the different components, ingredients under it. If it's high in sugar, I mean, if it's high in the bad content, don't buy it, right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Now, how would these, so let's say these food labels, right? There are a lot of people today have chronic conditions, right? They have some kind of health conditions. They might have sugar, they might have high sugar, they might have high blood pressure, they might have some skin disease, some chronic condition might be there. And they had it because
Yes.
they did not read those labels. How would you advise
Yes.
to those people who have chronic conditions? What things that should they be reading in those labels?
Yes. Like these food labels, as I said, they are very much important or helpful for the people mainly with the medical conditions. For example, if you take the diabetic patients, so they should be checking for the total carbohydrate content and also sugars. So sugar, it doesn't mean the direct sugar. It should also see to that the other names of the sugars. So like on the back of the pack, you can see different names like some glucose syrup, dextrose, maltose, even maltodextrin, invert sugars, maple syrup, corn syrup, high fructose corn syrup. So these are all other sugars which are alternatives to like whatever we think is the table sugar. So even these hidden names, we should be very much careful, especially for the diabetics and for the heart patients. So they should actually monitor for the saturated fats and also the sodium levels, the sodium content of the pack.
For
And
kids?
anyways, with the hypertension, they should go for the salt. Yes.
Okay, good. Now, that was very good, Dr. Pooja. Thank you for sharing this. Any special advice for different groups, or any practical tips for shipping? Sorry, any practical tips for shopping, if you have.
Yes, yes. So first of all, like most of the children will be getting attracted to these colorful packets. So first advice is to the parents, because children are attracted to all these colorful packaging and advertisements. So parents should always check for the sugar content, whether it can be some breakfast cereals or some chocolates, even drinks. So before buying and stocking it in the refrigerator or at the home, they should be very much looking at these food labels. Next thing is for the senior citizens with any kind of medical condition. So these food labels will be helpful. Even for the fitness enthusiasts. So like always, they should not rely on the high protein claims. They have to check how much protein is that pack is giving along with the total calories. So thereby, we can avoid any kind of negative impact. And coming to the some of the tips or the practical tips, you can say, like whenever you go for the shopping, so if you find some two different products, so you can compare actually like what is the calorie content of this product and what is the calorie content of the other product. You can actually cross check, and you can also compare the sugar levels, sodium levels, so thereby you can actually choose the healthier option. So we have to spend at least 1 minute in reading the label before placing the product in our cart.
As
So
responsible
always
parents.
make it a rule. Yeah, we should always make it a rule like without reading the label, we should not buy anything.
Very nice. I think it was it's very, very valuable time, Dr. Pooja, that you shared with us. And yeah, food labels are extremely important for us to understand. Us as part of society who are picking up food from supermarkets, or I mean, the best food is to go pick it up from the farmer's market. But in case you're not doing it, those food has labels in it. And thank you very much for sharing your information. I hope this podcast is helpful for many people out there. Thank you.
Yes. So to all the viewers, so next time you go for the shopping, don't just look at the front of the pack, just flip the pack and read smart. So we should all actually develop a simple habit of reading before we eat. Thank you.
I think that should go well with our listeners. Thank you, Dr. Puya.